everyone, welcome to another chapter on Mesita. My name is Mere, and
Jenny.
On this occasion we have a talented selector of reggae music and promoter of the sound system culture. Kinky P focuses on traditional sound system culture from Jamaica, playing the classics and latest international reggae sounds.
She has participated in multiple national and international festivals, a lover of vinyl culture, and member of the Beatdown Soundsystem collective. Today with us, Kinky P. Welcome to Mesita, Kinky P.
Muchísimas gracias. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
It's really good. How are you today, Kinky P? Did you enjoy a good time with your loved ones yesterday?
Yes, I'm doing good. I didn't have a big gathering. I actually had a gathering about a week ago, just so that I could, so that we can meet with family beforehand, because my husband actually worked, so we had to do this earlier, and so I had to enjoy. I got to enjoy some turkey and Thanksgiving dinner before everybody, and I'm actually not jealous of how much people were waiting in line and looking desperately for products and items that were off the shelves, or that were being rationed or already bought out. So I still have some stuffing, and a neighbor's gonna give me a piece of turkey again, just in case, that I want some. But I'm good. How about you, ladies?
I'm great. Yeah.
I think mine was pretty okay. Spent it with my inside family here in the house. We had some food. Yeah.
I can relate with Jennifer. I did the same. We had a little small gathering here at home, and we watched movies and enjoyed dinner together. But yeah, a little of what we investigated is that you collect vinyls. What is the importance of having this physical material? Could you explain to us, since the digital age is very popular among a new generation?
Absolutely. So I actually have some vinyls with me here, just in case. I'm a visual artist as well, and I'm an art teacher, and I'm very visual, and I like to look at the labels. I like to look at the artwork. That's how I memorize. So I don't necessarily read. I don't have to read the name of the track anymore. I can just flip through them and look at the label and know exactly what song that is. And that just happens automatically in my mind, and that's how it is. I love, I love touching something, and taking care of it. I love rewinding it by hand. I love that that you use a needle, and that is such a fine, beautiful thing that reads the music, and the collectivity of vinyl, that you still you're building a collection. It's something that is going to be worth for a long time. And some of these labels, some of these 45s are either not going to be printed anymore. Sometimes they only print 500 of them, and maybe there's only 20 available in the world. So it's the pride of having unique finds that nobody has, or that you can only buy the reissue of it. So yeah, I just love flipping through them, and I think it's one of the most important pillars of the music that I love to play, and that I create things for.
It's really interesting.
About the culture and the sound system. How did you start to get involved and promote this movement?
So everything started back in 2000. I started really getting into reggae, and specifically dub music. It was during a time where people used to download things from this website called Napster, and there was LimeWire. There was a couple of different ones, and it was an illegal way of getting music. Okay, and so you would look into people's, basically you're sharing your library with all these other community members, and people can you can exchange files, you know. So I was looking for this like funky jazz band called Medeski Martin and Wood, and somehow I found this King Tubby track. And King Tubby is one of the pioneers, producers of Jamaican reggae music and dub from Jamaica. And I ran into this song, and dub music is mainly, it focuses on the dub or the lows, the bass. It uses echo, so whoa, 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 and reverb, which like expands the sound. And that's what King Tubby did. He messed around with sound and created dub. And I fell in love with it, and I started to dig up for more and more and more. And so I eventually started getting into a lot of more reggae to find out what's the roots, where did this come from, what was before this, what was after this. And there's so many branches of reggae music. It's one of the fastest evolving genres of music. And so little by little, learning more and more, I just got really into it, and I started to go see other Chicago selectors that were doing all vinyl nights in Wicker Park. And I consider them my teachers. They Moambesa Sound. It was Marcus I, Frenchie, and JB. 3 of them. They would put this nights, and that's how I started to learn more about it, more about roots. And then eventually I was so involved and so into it, and going to every night like that I could. And I started to print. I started to create art. So I learned how to do silk screening, and I created this clothing company called Kinky Reggae, which is why my name is Kinky P, because I called this company I called it Kinky Reggae based on a Bob Marley song called Kinky Reggae. And I started doing all of the prints. I started printing the pictures of different artists and speakers, records, parties, turntables. And I started to sell my shirts in festivals around Chicago. And my mom, she helped me do a lot of the girls' shirts, like we still actually do. We cut male shirts and make them into women. We put mesh and straps on them, and so we started to do this. We started to do this together, and I started to sell at these festivals. And people started to get to know me, and they were like, La Kinky, I viene La Kinky. And that's how, that name sort of stuck with me. And eventually, after years of doing that, so I started to sponsor selectors, meaning like I would do the design of the shirts. I'm actually wearing one of my Beatdown Sound shirts that I made as well, and I printed myself. And I started to sponsor different selectors, different bands. And I would go set up at the table. And eventually I started to buy more and more records. And then my friends, those friends that were doing those nights, the Moambesa nights, and there was Rickshaw, who was doing this other night at Sonotech. And then there was Lava Lounge. Redlocks used to do that, and there was all this like foundation, and what I mean foundation is like music with conscious lyrics, with a message. It's not, there is reggae out there that translates into reggaeton, like that is more about dancing, about shaking and whatever, and that's cool too. It's part of it, but the foundation And the real meaning of reggae and dub, it's rooted to its message, you know, because it talks about the struggles of the people. It talks about a time where, you know, there was the diaspora, and the time where there was just so much suffering out there, and how these people, you know, like stood up for their rights, how they kept their head up through prayer, to thanking Jah, you know, to taking a greater being for surviving these terrible things, and the poverty and the ghettos of Jamaica. So the message, you know, is like one of the most important things in this music. And my friends and those people that I just talked about, they cater to that. They cater to that message. And eventually, you know, people started moving, and they started going to, you know, they closed down a couple of the places and things like that. So eventually there was not many nights there left, and I found myself, you know, sort of like, what is happening? You know, we need to make this work. And so eventually I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start playing records, because nobody has anybody to play. You know, nobody can play records for me, so I'm gonna play records for myself. And that is how I started to play records. And I was part of one of the greatest roots nights in Chicago at the Double Door. Simmer Down there, Cosmos gave me the chance to play one day for the first time, my debut. And after that, you know, just been playing all over the place. And it's not until about 3 years ago that we decided to build a sound system to bring the sound system culture to Chicago. But that actually, you know, that happened after many years of going back and forth to Europe and seeing how the sound system culture is happening over there, how well received is over there, how well received and thriving is in Mexico. Mexico has so many sound systems, like way more than the United States. And you know, and we share some similar stories as people, Mexicans and Jamaicans. We sort of have the same politics, you know, the same problems, the same poverty, the same issues. So I think there's like that identification in between the cultures, you know, that happens. And so, like I said, I travel the world looking, following sound system and feeling it. The first time that I felt the bass hit my body, the mids hit my body, and like, you know, hearing the different levels of the sound and how amplified and clean that was, I was hooked, and I started to sort of follow it around the world. And eventually I said, you know what, why am I following this around the world when we can bring this to Chicago? And Chicago deserves it as a international music city. You know, they have to have their foot at the door with this, you know. And so that's what we try to do with Beatdown Sound. And so far, you know, we were doing great, except COVID came and ruined it.
Are there any women who are owners or builders of sound systems? Like, could you like mention any that you admire, or, you know?
Yeah, there is this crew out in Brazil, Sao Paulo, Feminine Hi-Fi. Actually, Leili Arruda, she moved to Chicago last year, and her and her husband, they have a child. He actually works for the Bulls, and that's how they met. And she ended up coming here. Mm-hmm. She's part of this collective, female collective, that have their own sound system, and she's a singer. And she's they traveled internationally, they played internationally at big festivals, and they're a big deal in Brazil. And I really admire them a lot, because you know, it's hard to see such a talented group of women together and running a sound at the same time. So yeah, that's that's one of the collectives that I admire the most, and big ups to them. We actually had the chance to work with Leila Haruda here. We did a stream live session once, and we were planning on doing all kinds of things together. But again, we're waiting for that when she comes back and things get better. Hopefully, we can bring her crew as well and make this an international affair.
Mm-hmm. What has been your most memorable moment in your career as a selecta?
My most memorable moment was in 2018. I got invited by this beautiful, beautiful family in San Francisco, Mazapa, Teotihuacan. So I played at the Teotihuacan pyramids in Mexico. And I was received, not only I got to play it in such a spiritual, ancestral place, but I was received by this awesome family, and I was staying in their home, which is a 300-year-old home that is still, this El Poblado is still like built on top of ruins, and so it was, the place was magical, the time was magical. It was an outdoor thing. The pyramids were literally 5 blocks away from where I was at, and just the people experiencing el pueblo and y la gente, and being received like I was Selena or something. Like I felt so humbled, and the mother of the person who invited me, she made this beautiful mole for like a week in actual fire and leña, So things like that like people are going out of their way to welcome you. And for me, it's just like, no, thank you for bringing me here. And they're like, no, thank you for coming, And it just tells you that, we have a beautiful country, we have beautiful people, and they're lovely, and we have to be proud of who we are, because that's where like our good intentions and good people and good vibes come from, like our people like that. So that was one of the most memorable things, is playing at Teotihuacan con los Teotihuacanos.
We also know that apart from being a selector, you are also an educator. What has been your challenges of this 2020?
Oof. Oh my God. I've been a teacher for 15 years. And in the beginning, over the summer, I was planning my lessons, and I was a little, overconfident. And I was like, I got this, no problem. Woo, yo, I've been doing this forever and blah, blah, blah. No. My school, we do half, because of what I do, I'm the art teacher. So I have students from sophomore through senior. So I have different ages, and the way that they do it at my school is like, one day the sophomores and freshmen come, the other day the juniors and seniors come. So I only get to see half the class. I have to teach half the class on the computer at the same time as half the class in person. So there's a lot of technical issues that can happen, like connecting your computer to the projector and connecting the Zoom call and making sure that everybody's there and taking attendance and answering everybody's questions. And so by the time that you start to teach, already 20 minutes have gone by because of dealing with logistics and dealing with the things that you need to take care of before you start a class. And of course, as an art teacher, not having real materials and only seeing students once a week, it really forced me to move towards more graphic design. So I've been using Adobe Draw, Adobe Photoshop on their iPads. All the students have to have an iPad and an iPen. So I've been showing them how to do graphic design and how to draw with using these programs. And so it hasn't been a 100% typical experience in the art class, but it's better than nothing. There's really, what is the option there? So when they are in person, I try to give them as much material and much things that they can do, but we're just focusing also day by day, trying to deal with everybody's mental health, me included. As an adult, it's hard for me, and I know how hard it is for my students as well, dealing with being adolescents, dealing with the changes and everything, the stress that they go through, from their parents. When you see your parents that they're stressed out, of course it's gonna get to you as well. So everybody's on their last leg here. Like the people are really trying hard to keep optimistic and do things like this. Okay, let's continue with with what we do. And like I've been going live as well. I've been playing online, and just trying to make it work. But it's very hard. It's very hard. And we're looking at the winter, like we're looking at a couple months of, miserable Chicago indoors, hanging out with nobody.
Yeah, well, we in La Mesita take things very serious, but we also like to be funny. So here are a couple of questions.
All right.
Have you ever had to help a guy out with his levels? If so, what was their reaction?
Oh yes, I have. They're like, they sort of look at me twice, like what? But people, as a woman selectress, a lot of men have come and just stuck their hands in my knobs, or they have the audacity of bringing their phone and taking a picture of my record, which don't do that. And they've just been rude. So I tried a different approach. I actually go up to him and be like, hey man, turn down the highs, or like turn down the bass, or more gain over here, or you're peaking, like it's so it's, I try to do it in a way that that I would want somebody to let me know, because of the way that people have let me know in the past have been rude, because I'm a woman and they automatically think that I don't know what I'm doing. And so I try to do it in a different way, and please, and anybody who's listening out there, if my levels are off, come and let me know.
If you had an overly massive sound system, what kind of music would you play? Reggae or cumbia, and why?
My sound system is pretty big, and it's it has 4 scoops, so 4 basses. It's a wall of sound, and it's really, really loud. It has eruption scoops, which pushes the bass on a different level. It's clean. I have beautiful amps. It's tuned really well, and I play reggae on it. Right? I love reggae. But having said that, I also know that in Mexico there was this big movement of sonideros, and that is why sound system culture is so big over there as well. It's because of the sonideros, people putting together massive speakers and playing cumbia in the streets of Mexico City. So I would be, I actually, this sound system was made for the city, and we have talked about having different events that cater to the different types of music that thrive here in the city. So I would love to have a cumbia dedicated party for the sound as well. And I don't discriminate on what type of music. I think that house would sound amazing in it. And of course, you have to tune it prior to the event to make sure that you're hitting the types of sound that are going to showcase the music better. So anything. At this point, anything. I would love to play it out.
We at Yollocalli love pizza. What kind of pizza do you like? Do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?
I don't think it's a super sin to put pineapples on pizza. And like if there is a right looking pizza with pineapple and some ham in there, I would totally dig into it. And my favorite pizza, it has to be Ricobene's pan sausage pizza.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Unique, but sounds good.
But yeah, no, I had a taco pizza the other day. It was delicious. It was the best. They had ground beef, it had jalapenos and cheddar cheese and chorizo o algo así. It was, beans. It had beans smeared in there too.
What?
So, pizza's versatile, and just keep doing it. You're always gonna want to go back to your regular tomato sauce and cheese, but it's always good to explore. That's how new art, new music, new things, they evolve from, they sort of like mix and match together, and new things evolve from them. So same with us, we're all mixing with each other. We're all we're in a big melting pot. Everything, the whole world is a melting pot. So might as well be experimental pizza as well too.
Okay. Finally, and to say goodbye, what message would you give to all selectors and DJs on this planet?
What message? The message to all the DJs out there is, to keep the message going. Use your platform to pass on a good, positive message for the youth. Try to use the space and time that you have, and share it out for good vibes and for the growth of our youth and community and the world as a whole, and to speak up about issues and speak up about the troubles that everybody is experiencing, and to keep on doing it. And right now it's a time where people that are not essential workers are struggling to keep a roof over their heads, to keep their stomachs full, and this is happening all over the world. So keep on doing what you love, and even if it's going live, even if it's just going on a Zoom call and playing for friends, try to continue to do what you love, so that when we're ready to come out of this, you're ready to come out of this, because I'm gonna be ready, and I've been buying records and I've been practicing, so let's go.
Thank you very much, Kinky P, for your valuable time, wisdom, and being able to chat with us. It's truly an honor.
It was an honor for me, and thank you so much. This interview was really good, and you ladies are lovely, and you're beautiful and young, and you have the world ahead of you. Enjoy it, take care of it, and hit me up if you need anything.
Thank you, Kinky P. But where can we find you on social media?
That's a great question. So you can find me on Instagram, Kinky P420. I am on Twitter as Empress Kinky P. I am Kinky P on Facebook, and I'm also Kinky _P on Twitch, which I've been doing my mixes. I've been going live on Twitch more often because they don't kick you out. And so if you catch me live, you can listen to my whole entire set, and they're not going to block out any copyrighted material until after they post the entire set. They would block off whatever songs. But if you catch me live, you can see the whole entire enchilada. So I hope you can catch me there. And Beatdown Soundsystem, Chicago. Everybody, keep your head up, cheer up, and here we are.
We also want to thank everyone who listens to Lumpen Radio and our YouTube channel. Have a nice day. And remember that you are listening to La Mesita Yollocalli. My name is Jenny. See you soon.
Much love.